All right, everybody. Well, hey, hope everybody is doing well this Monday night. Hopefully you had all a great weekend. We've got some great stuff that we're going to go through tonight, especially for some of you guys that are new to the call. We had supposed to have a workshop this last Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Unfortunately, I woke up Friday just absolutely sick as a dog and did not feel like, didn't want to give less than 100% to those that were signed up for the workshop. So we pushed it back a couple weeks. But actually kind of glad because Zoom would have died on Sunday anyway with the mass blackouts with Zoom and everything like that was experiencing across the country. So it kind of worked out to our favor. But anyway, we will have that class again in a couple of weeks. But we're honored to have you guys here. I give a big shout out to Tamara, who sent me an email. She's like, well, as a new note investor, what are some of the things that I need to focus on? And before we get to those critical 11 elements, some of you guys have probably heard it, others may not have. Let's go through a couple things here. Welcome to Note Night in America. It's your first time joining us here. We're glad to have you all. All webinars recorded do have the red button, so you can catch any of these as replays by going to weclosenotes.tv. That should take you directly to our YouTube channel to watch those. While you're there at youtube.com/weclosenotes, make sure you subscribe so you're alert of all the new videos. We've got some really great stuff, some case studies, new podcast episodes have been recorded that we're uploading there too for you all. Check out the podcast as well for Note Night in America. Make sure you subscribe and leave a 5-star review as well. So Note Night in America, all the episodes are up there. They should be, the last couple should be released here in the next week and a half. Always encourage you to go over to the Note Closer show as well as recorded episode 600 today. Yeah, 600 episodes. Wow. Where does the time fly when you're having fun? But anyway, welcome to Note Night in America. Whether you're a brand new note investor, new real estate investor, somebody who's trying to check out the notes in, you're in the right spot. So let's dive into the Note Investor Checklist. It's good to see so many of you guys on the call tonight. What's this? Oh, I think I may have, hang on, I got it. I just forgot to delete a slide. There we go. So happens when you reuse. All right, so the first thing you want to do is probably put together a piece of paper, have something to write on. Some of these things are, well, all these things are critically important. I'm a big believer of. So everything is important for you guys on this list here because of a couple of things. When I teach a class, I cover a lot of things through my 3-day Find Fun Flip. We, nuts and bolts training. We're going through a lot. Myself and maybe just maybe 3 other speakers on it who are vendors for the most to share what they know and to help you find things. But what we always come to, the last part of the class, is I'll spend time and I'll have everybody number 1 through 15. All right, 1 through 15, and then have them kind of go through and fill out. I'll prompt them in the first 10, from 1 to 10. Hey, here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to put in place. Here's the direction to go. And then it's up to everybody to put the 11 through 15, the last 5 together for themselves. Now everybody's got different strengths and weaknesses. Everybody comes to the real estate investing and the note investing community with different strengths, different, what they've done in the past. Some are better at negotiating. Other people are good at direct mail. Other people are good at automation. Other people are like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm scared. Okay. So people are better on the phones, and people don't want to be on the phones. Better copywriter. Great. That's fine. When I sit down and I think about what are the key essential, or should we say the critical 11 things that note investors need to be good at, especially a new note investor, these are the things that come to the mind. And I put them in order of really what you need to put in place. Now, you can swap some of these out. If you got some of the stuff already set up, don't worry about it. But honestly, most of these are in order of what you need to do first and foremost. So the first thing that we need to do is write down your goals. Identify what you want to accomplish being as a note investor or as a real estate investor. Set your goals. Obviously you heard me talk about SMART goals. Okay. You got to have, you're smart. You got to be, strategic. You got to, mark, measurable actions and be relatable, and then also timing on that stuff. So you've got to really write your goals down. Because if you don't write them down, honestly, if you write your goals down and post them somewhere you can see them, you've got a 50% chance of them being accomplished, of getting there a lot faster than those that don't write down your goals. I had the pleasure of having Mark Victor Hansen on and his lovely wife, Crystal Dwyer Hansen, on my podcast today. And it was a lifelong goal to have them on. Well, you know what happened? Part of the reason they got on is because I actually took the time to write down who I wanted to have on. Okay. It's who I wanted to have on my podcast. And I shared it with some people and it got the word out. Lo and behold, I get an email from the production saying, hey, you heard somebody say that you're interested in possibly having them on? I'm like, yes. So that was a big accomplishment for me. Yeah, now it's not the note business. What do you mean by the note business? Well, what kind of goals? What are you trying to do? Because I don't think you're just buying notes to buy notes for the fun of it. Most of us have a ulterior motives. And we want to retire. We want to quit our job. We want to be an entrepreneur. We want to retire our spouse or kids, whatever. You got to set your goals. Some people, hey, I want to be a philanthropist. I want to make the money, but I want to donate to a cause. I want to, be able to afford my cost. I want to be able to work from home. Write down what your goals are and identify them. What do I need to do to get there? Now, you may need somebody to sit down with you at first to walk through your goals, and I highly encourage that. You're always more than welcome to send me an email or send me an email at scott@weclosenotes.com or book 30 minutes with me at talkwithscottcarson.com. All right. If you need some help identify where to begin and what to do, feel free to give me a phone call. I had a guy give me a phone call last week, week before last, he emailed me on Thursday, and he had spent money at somebody else's workshop, and it was just a big pitch fest, and he was not happy. And he's like, I don't know if I want to sign for another workshop, and it's gonna be a pitch fest. I said, well, first of all, just tell me what your goals are. What are you trying to accomplish? Maybe our class is not a fit for you. And I say, if you're in the note space right now, here's the thing you'd be looking for. If you're trying to, you want to increase your cash flow, great play. If you want to buy more real estate, okay, lesser. If you want to build a system that you can do in 10 to 15 to 20 hours a week, you could do that here. But it's goals. You're not going to replace $1 million. I got a great text message from my buddy Gene Chandler out of Indiana. And Gene and I sat down a long time ago, a couple of years ago, not a long time ago now, thinking about 3 or 4 years ago, and talked about what do you want to accomplish. He's like, oh, there's no way I can accomplish buying 100 notes. And I kind of chuckled, like, let's write it down. What kind of cash flow do you want to have? Let's look at this stuff. You can accomplish it if you give yourself time to do it. And sure enough, he sent me a text message. He goes, Scott, I just want to say thank you. I just closed my 134th deal. I started a fund, and I have 2.8 million in private money out in the market right now because we set a goal plan for it. Beforehand, he was buying a note here or there, and something could be crossed, but he didn't really have a plan of action for you. And those are the kind of emails, the text messages I love to see from people that are going out and making big things happen because of what the education direction they give them. So if you're struggling on figuring out where you want to go in real estate, what you want to accomplish, give me a phone call. I had a guy call me today, like, listen, with what you want to do and accomplish, notes are not what you need. You need to probably just stick to wholesale in your backyard. A lady called me from the Bay Area. Oh, I have rentals, but I don't know if I can do this. I don't think I reached out. And I was like, listen, don't bother. Save your money. Keep doing what you're doing. You don't need to be in notes. All right. But identify and write down your goals. Talk to somebody and you're writing it down and then share them. That's one of the most important. That's why I write them down, display them so that your friends and family can support you. Because if you have a goal and what you want to accomplish, that gives you that North Star, that arrow, that compass to guide you. Too many real estate investors have no idea what they want to accomplish, and they're all over the place. They're fickle. They're just confused. We all drift, but they don't have a true sense of purpose, and they end up getting in trouble. All right. A local investor reached out to me. She's like, I hadn't talked to her in like 2 years, and she was stressed out because she'd gotten in trouble. I'm like, why did you not call me sooner? We're going to fix this and fix this. She goes, I know. I just didn't want to bother you. And I get tired of hearing, I don't want to bother you. I'm here to help you guys. I don't show up on Monday nights or do the podcast just hear my own self speak. Now, some of you might think that, but I'm here to help you guys accomplish big things. I want you to accomplish big things. The world needs us to accomplish big things. Each and every one of us that are on the call here, or watching this replay, or listening to this. All right. Set your goals, write them down, identify them, and share them. That's number one. Now, 2, pick your niche. Pick your niche, your note niche. Maybe it's first, maybe it's owner finance notes, maybe it's seconds, maybe it's residential, maybe it's commercial, maybe it's performing, maybe it's non-performing, maybe it's partials, okay? Maybe it's just contract for deeds. Whatever your niche is, it's okay, but just pick one. Don't try to do them all. Pick a niche, master that niche before moving on, but pick a niche, identify it. Hey, what's working in the market? I had somebody call me up out of the blue, watched a video online. It was 3 years old, not my video. Somebody else, so I want to buy seconds. I'm like, it's not the market for seconds right now. Well, I saw this video. Well, how old's the video? 3 years old. Well, it's not working right now. If you can go back in your DeLorean to 3 years ago, okay, or 5 years ago, better. But if you don't have that, hey, you got to pick something that's working now in your niche. Talk with somebody, figure out what your niche is, and focus on it and go in the next direction. Now, 3 is setting up your marketing plan. If you are focused on a niche, how are you going to find those deals? Where are those deals hanging out? If you're non-performing notes, then hey, you're probably going to be dealing directly with banks or the investors. If it's performing notes, then you probably need to jump on and talk with other investors or even some banks too on the performing stuff. If you are using your own money, are you using other people's money? What is your plan? If you've got some of your own money, that's a great thing to have, but don't fall into the caveat of not going and marketing for other people's money. I've got an investor right now. He's trying to close on a deal or two, and he's waiting for his property to sell. And I'm like, don't wait for that deal to sell. Get out and raise capital. And he's done some great things. Got a couple email blasts that went out, which is great, but it's drifted off. It's soft up. He's not posting to social media. I'm like, what's your marketing plan? We get this all set up. You're going to do this on a daily basis or this on a daily basis. It's not that people aren't marketing. Is that most of you are busy marketing other people's stuff by sharing and liking and not willing to share your own stuff. You got to set up your marketing plan. What does it be? You know, if you're only working 10 hours, you only have 10 hours a week to put aside because you're a full-time JOB, and what can you do? Well, that would be LinkedIn. That would be an email blast. Those would be the 2 critical things in your marketing plan. If you've got more time than that, then maybe you want $1 for dollars. Maybe you want to reach out to other investors. All right? It's up to you what you want to do in your marketing plan. There's a variety of things. It doesn't have to be complicated. A marketing plan can be simple. Some people was like, I want to buy owner finance notes. Okay, then your marketing plan isn't be calling banks. It's be jumping on the county records and looking for deed records. And if you want to do direct mail to that, by all means, go right ahead. I think there's more effective things to do. Talking to your services, talking to sellers, putting on your profile, I buy owner finance notes, okay, and sharing that in different groups. Everybody should have a little bit different marketing plan based on your strengths and your weaknesses and what your focus is. But do you get what I'm trying to say? Basically, it's the outline of kind of your business plan. Got to have your goals. Got to know what you're focused on. Now you got to put your marketing plan in place. Start running with that, okay? Now, if you don't know what your marketing plan is, hey, you should check out some of our previous episodes, all right? Not that difficult. It's just a matter of taking it and applying it. One of the great things that we do, not only in the workshop, is spend a big chunk of time talking about our virtual, the marketing octagon. Some of you guys have heard of the content spider. Others of you guys have seen us put together, okay, here, do this, do this, do this. Some of you guys have come and sat in with us one-on-one or one-on-one coach. You know we focus a lot on marketing. How much are you marketing on a monthly basis? Some of you are failing those profiles. Some of you are failing doing stuff on a regular basis. Now, some people are doing good. Sometimes all you've got to do is just set up a couple things and follow through on a regular basis, as long as you give it time for those seeds to germinate. All right. We have spent a lot of time here, obviously the last 2 months here at our house, and we're doing some stuff in the yard. We're growing some plants, planting some tomatoes. And when you go get seeds at the store, we got some this weekend. It says you can harvest in 85 days or harvest in 58 days or harvest in 60 days. Most of you aren't giving your marketing any time. You're planting a seed, but then never going back and adding water, never putting sun onto it, not putting a good soil. You just are throwing something out there once and not doing anything. No wonder why your marketing dies. This is a routine thing. You got to give it sun. You got to give it some love. That's your marketing plan to your business. If you don't have a marketing plan with your business, then you're really not in business whatsoever. And that kind of takes us to the next thing. Number 4 is, okay, what kind of business you can do? Set up your entities. Now, some people would say this is higher. Some people would say this is lower. A lot of you probably already have an LLC or C Corp or S Corp set up or trust. That's great. You need to have an entity before you're making offers, though. And I honestly think you need to have a separate LLC just for your note business. If you're going to be around for a while, okay, if you're want to be a real estate investor and don't have an LLC, and I don't care if you're a wholesaler, a flipper, a signer of contracts, note investor, if you don't have an LLC, you're not in business. You should not be doing business DBA. All right. You should not take one LLC you have, DBA is something else. That's a bad idea. Set up a separate LLC. Don't be doing sole proprietorships. Set up your entity. Talk to law firm associates before. talk to guys over at Credit Sense or Get Fundable about the value of setting up your entity. There's so many things you need to do, but you want to protect yourself. And not just a self-directed IRA. I'm talking about setting up a self-directed IRA LLC or an LLC to protect your investment. There are things that you need to do, and you got to be in business. If you don't have an LLC, no offense. Yes, I know it's like $30 to get an LLC in Mississippi and it's $800 a year in California. That's your tax for wherever you're at. Okay? It's your $300, $800 tax a year because you love California. You get the weather, that's your tax, okay, versus the heat we have. All right. But talk to professionals and tell them what you're going to do. Call Laughlin, talk to them. My gosh, they're glad to help you guys out because they're so familiar with what we're doing. All right, it is your corporate insurance. Thank you very much, Todd. All right, moving on. Then the next step is, sorry, it's the 21st century, everybody. You got to set up your social profiles or go out and find what's available. All right? Your social profiles. That means your LinkedIn, your Facebook, your YouTube, your Twitter. You may, if you're, yeah, I wouldn't spend a lot of time on TikTok. I wouldn't spend a lot of time on Instagram, but as we talked before, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, maybe Instagram a little bit are the 3 or 4 most important things for you to have. You're in business. You got to market. You're in the media business. You got to market your deals. Refusing to do that is just a waste of effing freaking time, everybody. Bless your heart, as we say in Texas here. Don't be the person, yeah, I'm in business, but I'm never going to market. And I just like, really? I can't get anybody to show up. Nobody wants to deal with any deals with me. They don't know who I am. Yeah, because you're quiet. You can't be a James Bond in the note business or in real estate and never hope to succeed. And how do you get better at this stuff? You go out and connect with people. You go out and share. The more you share, especially in today's world, the more people are. Now, some people are like, well, I don't want to share my research. That's fine. If you've got all the money and all the capital, all the deals coming in, you don't have to set up any social profiles. But today, businesses, today, banks, today, funders look at social media profiles. Set them up. And before you pick an entity name, look at namecheck, NAMECHK.com to see if those social media profiles. Last thing you want to do, I had a guy talk to me today. He's like, what was this? His entity was going to be long. I mean, like really long. I'm like, shorten it down. I said, did you even search to see if that URLs would work? You know, so we typed it in. First of all, the name was gone. And all the social media profiles weren't available because his name was too long. So take some time, look into it. Yeah, Todd, a business person that doesn't market is like blinking in the dark. Only you know you blinked. Exactly. That's a good one. You have to market. You got to get on. You got to start posting things on a regular basis. You have all the information you need here to start off with, taking photos and sharing or doing a short video. Does anything mean fancy? Just something. Go around and take pictures of your old properties and post those. All right? Talk about those deals. Those are simple things to do to get the people aware of what you're doing, because that's how you got to share. You can have the greatest pizza in the world, but if you're not marketing, nobody's going to show up to buy your pie. All right? That's an important thing to keep in mind. Number 6, you got to have, what's the most important thing these days is email, even though social media is important. Email is still the #1 marketing tool. You need a CRM, a customer relationship management tool, or email service provider at the very least to market out, okay? Thank you, Laura. Yeah, she says 1 or 2 posts for a multi-post platform takes 5 minutes a day. Yeah, exactly, like buffer.com or Hootsuite, which link those together. Very good. But you got to have some sort of email marketing campaign. If you're not emailing out to your campaign, your potential clients, your potential investors, the banks don't know you exist. You think they're out there just waiting for you? They're sitting there, I am thinking I have some non-performing notes and I need an investor. I'm going to call a random number. I'm just going to dial for dollar. Your phone's going to ring with deals. No, it doesn't work that way. You got to market. Same thing. I have $100,000 to invest with. I'm waiting for a phone call. I think I'm just going to call a random number. I'm just going to send a random email. It doesn't work that way, everybody. You got to market on a regular basis. You know, Sunday night works well. Monday works well. Okay. Setting it before Friday at 3 o'clock. There's a whole system to send email. It's a 4,400% ROI for every dollar you spend as long as you use it on a regular basis. And this drives me bonkers because I see investors that won't market at all. It scares the hell out of me. Somebody comment in here. I can't get it to go down. Let's see. Close that out. But what I'm trying to get at here, this doesn't have to cost you a lot. Like MailChimp works really well. They give you the 2,000 contacts for free. Most of you in 5 minutes of my work, and actually first hour, 2 hours of my virtual workshop would have more than 2,000 contacts to market to. So you might as well sign up for the paid version. You could use Aweber. It's a little bit more fancy than MailChimp. MailChimp will give you up to 25,000. MailChimp has really got some great things going for you. I use Infusionsoft or Keep because I have a lot more things within added to it. I used MailChimp for years and then transitioned over. But the thing is, you got to send stuff on a regular basis. Send an email out. Some of you that are on this call, I see you posting on Facebook. I see you liking, but I don't see you posting an email blast out to you got your group, to your database. What's going on? What are you doing? I mean, I could probably email everybody out my blueberry cobbler recipe and I get a ton of people because somebody was like, oh my gosh, I love your blueberry. You have no idea what dessert is coming next I'm sharing, okay? Maybe strawberry rhubarb pie, maybe peach cobbler. You know, I could send a recipe out, would be a fun thing. Hey, cooking at home in the quarantine, whatever. Marketing, whatever you got freaking going on. Just share. People are dying to read stuff these days. They're dying to connect. You know what? The reason we talk about doing your social media profiles beforehand, because now you can write an email and share that across it. While you talk about YouTube, share your cooking recipe. I'm seeing friends of mine, they're doing live streams, sharing the back and forth, him and his spouse, just sharing and things. They're all sending an email out. Hey, in case you missed the live stream, check this out. Not everybody you know is going to be on TikTok at 7 p.m. waiting for you to dance, okay? 7, join REI meetup groups. Now, yes, this is a little bit different right now because we are all quarantined. You're not able to connect. You're not able to network. It's still important, okay? And this is, if you're in a local market, then look at the local real estate clubs, the local meetup groups that meet in your area. Now, this will also lead important to number 8 in just a second too. But joining a couple meetup groups is one of the best things you can. Some of them are doing virtual meetups, which is like a Zoom call, which is great. But still, if you've got a local meetup group, go join it. Go network with it. Show up one night a week, one night a month. And some of you guys are in great cities. You could go 2 nights a week, every week. That could be 8 meetings. That might be all the networking you need. That might be all the list building you need on a weekly basis. But these are one of the most important. I mean, there's some meetup groups across the country that you can tap into that 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 investors in. You'd be silly not to jump and join those groups. Refusing to do that is just like refusing to be successful. That's the way I look at it. Now, there are some different things depending, like here in Austin, Texas, is a little bit, we've got one major real estate club that really never talks about notes. A couple other smaller ones. And it's the thing, if you're stuff during the day and you're working across town, it take you 4 hours of traffic and everything. Maybe not. But if you're going to be investing in a couple areas, a couple cities you like, hey, jump on the meetup groups in those areas first. Check out, see how active the groups are. See when they meet. If you're traveling, see if there's a meetup group in that area. Or if we get back to traveling, I should say that. But this is an important thing. This has always been a high thing to join a network because you need a network of people to help you out. And that leads to number 8. Pick your states. You're not going to be buying notes in all 50 states. You're going to be buying notes in 40 states. Ideally, pick 2 or 3 states that you're comfortable with that have deals. Now, if you live in California, like a lot of California friends of ours, you may not find any deals there. You may need to be buying in Ohio, Michigan, Missouri. I have a lot of people I know in California are buying in Missouri or try to buy in Texas or Florida. Talk to your network. Hey, what are you seeing in your area? What are you seeing in your state? Kind of deal flow. That's one of the most important things you can do. And then as you get comfortable with the state, add another state. The reason you pick 2 or 3 states is so you can identify what's the foreclosure timeframes. How does this work? Is it judicial foreclosure, non-judicial? Days on the market. Because you're picking 2 or 3 states, but you may have 3 or 4 major cities in those states. So pick those cities out, learn them, identify opportunities, and that's the most important thing is there. And then you can add a different state and go from there. 9, set up your vendors. This is easy to do, but until you've got an LLC set up, before you start marketing and doing some other stuff, there's no reason to set up your vendors if you're not being active. But your vendors, your attorneys, your servicing company, your insurance company, your attorney for your LLCs. Besides just set up your LLC, you need to set up your vendors. You need to have that conversation with Madison Management or whoever you have servicer. You need to have that conversation with Ross Diversified Insurance to talk about insurance costs. Okay, talk with your local team of realtors in the cities that you talk with. I need a good realtor. I probably need a handyman crew. Set up your vendors very easily. Part of the reason we talked about joining meetup groups first to help you on this road to journey, because that's when people. Well, I'm not comfortable in that city. I'm like, well, why'd you pick that? Well, it's in my state. I'm like, okay. Do you have a vendor? No. Are you part of the real estate clubs? No. Have you gone to meetup.com? No. Why not? Well, I just didn't want to. Vendors are not hard to find. They're in every city out there. And if your excuse is, I want to be able to touch and feel, then stick to what you're doing and stay the heck out of notes. Okay. Number 10, start making offers and marketing. Start down from dollars. Start emailing people. Start talking to people. Pick up the phone and try to connect with 10 new people each day. And what do you have on your books? Nobody's got selling anything. Do you have anything in this quarter or next quarter? It doesn't have to be 50 phone calls in 4 hours. It would be helpful. And businesses, you'll see the residual effects if you stick to it on a regular basis. But start making offers and marketing. You got to start taking action of some sort. You know what? You're going to screw up at first. You're going to feel like a clown on the phone. That's okay. You're going to screw up in your email blasts. That's okay. Just start making offers. You're going to learn more by making offers and working through the due diligence and talking through people than anything else. All right? You got to start somewhere. Setting things up is great, but there's no real activity until you start marketing and start making offers, everybody. That's really where it comes down to. How many offers you make today? How many offers you make this week? One of the numbers that I think are very critical that slowed down some, I used to have on my dry erase board in my office, number 20. I'd try to have 20 pending offers at any given time. That would drop down a little bit. But you have to work your numbers depending on where you want to be. And this is why we look at your plan of action. If you need to make $5,000 a month in cash flow, and you're going to be using somebody else's money, that's 10 grand technically. Divide that by $500 a month coming in on average payments. That's roughly 20 deals. So you got to have 20 deals pending. Mine's a little bit different number on that stuff, but you put 20 offers out at any given time. You know, those 20 deals are what you need to close at the end of the year to get to your point, or try to get to that point where you've got those performing notes. Know those numbers and work through it. Know that you're going to have only a 10% closing ratio. So to get to that 20 close, that means you need to make 200 offers in a year time frame to get to that point. Knowing those numbers, offers aren't going to make themselves. Okay? Banks aren't going to show up and just, deals aren't going to show up just because you're a great guy or great gal. You got to start making offers and marketing that, okay? Nathan asked a question. $500 monthly payment is average in residential notes. No, Nathan, it'll vary by state to state on a variety of different things. And the time frame, I just give you that as a number to adjust with, okay? Just a number roughly to take a look at. It may be high, maybe lower. It depends on the markets you're into, okay? Keep that in mind. Number 11 is find an accountability partner. Find somebody who's going to hold you accountable. Maybe you need to find somebody at the networking event, somebody online, somebody that'll help you walk you through this. Let's say find a mentor, but I think we all need accountability partners more than anything else. Who's going to hold you accountable? Hey, did you get your email out today, this week? You've done a video. Have you reached out? We all need accountability partners. Some of us are better than others. The reason we all need an accountability partner is because we're less likely to give up on our dreams if somebody's holding us accountable. Now, yes, look, going to the gym, a lot of people are like, oh, I'll wait till I get out of this thing. But the gym is one of the biggest things that people go to. They go to their friends there to work out. They go there, and it holds me accountable. You're always going to get along and be more successful and faster with somebody who's rolling in the same direction as you are. Maybe you find an accountability partner who has different strengths than you. Maybe they're better at due diligence and you're better at marketing, so you're working together. Not saying being business partners, but help encouraging things. And you need an accountability partner in those ups and downs. If you hit a wall, like I was just reading an article about Michael Phelps going through a really tough time at home. I've talked to several of my friends that they don't have a spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend. They're by themselves, stuck in their apartment or their house. When they have a rough time, they need that bond. They need to get out of that. They need that somebody to hold them accountable to help them accomplish their goals. And we all have different accountability partners, but it's better when it's doing something that you enjoy and you're working towards, and you can high five on the little successes. It makes those difficult times even sweeter because you have somebody to help motivate you, get you through this, going through the exact same thing that you are. That's why we talk about going to a meetup group and going to our RA club. All right? Find somebody there that can help you. Find somebody else who's trying to do the same thing. If you're going to a workshop or an online summit or something like that, find yourself an accountability partner. It's so helpful. And we do that too. It's like, listen, hey, you guys are going through a virtual workshop, or if you're going through Note Camp in a couple of weeks, hey, find an accountability partner, somebody that's looking to get to where you want to be and where you want to go, and get there together. So speaking of the devil, we do have 2 upcoming events. We do have our virtual note buying workshop. Actually, that date is wrong. It's obviously changed. We have Note Camp coming up in 2 weeks. Note Camp 2020, June 5th through the 7th. Price is $149 right now. It did go up. It will increase again June 1st. So take advantage of getting your discounted ticket to there. I'll be updating all the new speakers over the next couple of days before Friday. So you guys have an opportunity to look at that. And then for those that weren't able to make the workshop that we ended up having to push, anyway, we pushed it back to June 19th through the 21st. That's a virtual note buying workshop. I think I may have told somebody it was the 12th through the 14th. No, it's the 19th through the 21st. I just realized there's something already booked that day. So anyway, notebuyingfordummies.com. It's $5.99. If you end up signing for the virtual workshop, you'll get a ticket to Note Camp. So you might as well take advantage of that as well there for you guys. But are there any questions, comments on our 11 out there for you all? Anything comes to mind? Yeah, a fool with a plan will beat a man with no plan any day. A fool with a plan will beat the most intelligent person with no plan any day. Warren Buffett puts that somewhere. I've seen that somewhere. So plan something out. Plan to make 30 phone calls. This does not have to, your marketing plan honestly shouldn't be 20 pages long because it's going to change every quarter. It's going to change as you get better, as you grow, you evolve, you learn to market. A one-page business plan is really all you need. How many deals do you need to get to? What do you want to get to there by? What do you need to do to get to there? How many deals do you need to close? How many offers do you need to make? How many emails blast do I need to send out or phone calls do I need to make? And that's really what it comes down to more than anything else. All right, everybody? Questions, comments, concerns? If you have not signed up for Note Camp, do so now, notecamp2020.com. The replays are included with that. Price goes up. We got a couple other special bonuses for some of our early birders if you're not signed up by the 1st, okay? We will not have Note Night in America next Monday night because it is Memorial Day weekend. Want you guys to go out, enjoy this 3 days. Think about it. What's going on? I mean, if you look at some of the numbers, 36 million unemployed or file for unemployment. Expecting this to be at least 25% of the country unemployed. 10% of mortgages roughly in forbearance agreements right now. All right. You have to take a look at what the numbers are, and they're screaming out for individuals like you and I, investors that can help out and solve problems. That's one of the most important things is, can you solve problems? Can you take action to make win-win-win scenarios? Win for us, win for the banks, and win for the borrowers. And you throw in your investors in there as well too. So 4 wins across the board. I love note investing, guys. Love to have you. Notecamp2020.com. Hopefully you guys will go out. Is that website you use LiveLeap? I couldn't find it. I don't know what you mean by, is that website you use Leap Live? Or are you talking about the one that shares across different Facebook pages? When I share a video there, it shares across, that would be LiveLeap. If that's the video, if that's the page, yeah, it's LiveLeap. You're welcome, Angela. All right. Well, that's all that I have for you guys tonight. Hopefully it was helpful for you. Please take action. Please do something. If you, like I said, if you want to schedule a phone call, talk about where you want to go and where you want to be, hey, book a call with me at talkwithscottcarson.com. Talkwithscottcarson.com. All right. Have a great day. Enjoy your week. Happy birthday, Todd Silverzine. Bye.